I'm Sinclair, and you're listening to guided meditation for grounded presence. You can listen to this whenever you please, especially when the mind is too loud and you feel you are disconnected from the present moment. It is vitally important that you are not operating any kind of machinery or driving while listening to this audio. And before you listen, fully ensure you're comfortable sitting or lying down and will be free from interruptions during this meditation. Remember that to find peace and stillness, you want to look within yourself. Without further ado, let's begin. We're only interested in one thing here for our meditation, and that is to sit or lie in presence. Thinking is not important here. As much as possible, let go of thinking without any effort, and realize that you are more fully yourself when you are not thinking. And when you are not thinking, you can realize that being is what it means to be a human being. And you can sense the being that you are, which can be expressed as the first person singular of the verb to be. I am. So your sense that you are the presence prior to thinking, the clear space of presence. And that's why we're here now. To be that presence, that being. To realize that we are that. I don't think, as I sit here, the words just come out of the stillness. There is no thinking prior to the words. And as soon as a word has been uttered, there's just presence and stillness. So you can join me in that, because I don't need to think, and you don't need to think right now, but just be present. One might ask, how do I know whether or not I'm making progress in my personal development and mastery over my emotions? And I would say that the degree to which there is absence of thought and how frequently there is an absence of thought is the only true criteria for that progress. The extent to which you are free of thought in daily life of course, still able to use your thoughts whenever it's needed, perfectly fine, and even more efficiently than before, more creatively, because you have access to the unconditioned, unconscious intelligence itself, which is presence. You might even find that certain insights and answers come through for you unfiltered when you become still now. How long you can sit in meditation is not a good criteria for progress. But to what extent presence comes into your daily life. And initially, we might have little moments of presence in between all the doings of your life, little moments of being, awareness, alertness, a large stillness, consciously looking at something, consciously savoring what the present moment has in store for you. Consciously listening to music or to the birds or to someone speaking to you. Consciously walking across the room, consciously washing your hands, consciously and mindfully eating and drinking and bathing, consciously doing whatever work you do. Which does not mean that when you walk across the room, consciously walking, you're thinking, I am now crossing the room. And when you look at something, I am now looking at that tree. And that can be an intermediate step, but the actual presence is when there is no background commentary. And when there's virtually no background commentary throughout your life, this is an awakened state. Of course, there will be fragments here and there of thoughts saying this or that, judging some things, remembering others, imagining and planning. And where it is useful, this is good. But to be mostly and fundamentally free of the involuntary, compulsive background commentary in your daily life, that is an enormous leap. To live like that. But you don't need to have that as some aim. Saying to yourself, I want to be free of background commentary. Now it's easier than throughout your life. I want to be free of that. Well, just do it now. Renounce unnecessary thinking. Be present instead and notice how the ego diminishes and eventually cannot survive in you when you are present. And how suffering also is starved to death. Worry and fear, all of these things disappear the more you become present, noticing now every inhale and every exhale. And some people in many religious groups renounce their possessions. Sometimes they renounce their name, they let go of their old name, they adopt a new spiritual name. They renounce their physical comforts, exposing the body to discomfort. All these can be helpful. But the most basic and the most important renunciation is letting go of the most basic attachment. And that's attachment to your thoughts. Renounce unnecessary thinking. To notice that you are not your thoughts, that you are the observer of thoughts, and you are also the observer of feelings. And you notice them appearing and disappearing, coming in and leaving, growing and dissipating like clouds, water vapor, and then going away into the distance. For a time, you can set aside all those thoughts, clouds, watch them come and go and not put yourself in any of them. Traditionally, this is what people call meditation. So you could say that that's what we're doing here, although we are not really doing anything. We are doing, which is not a doing, is realizing our presence. Realizing our consciousness, our awareness, and letting it grow and expand throughout our bodily experience and sensations. Noticing the smells, the shifts in temperature in your body, any sounds, any tingling, any discomfort, and you can just sit with whatever is here and now. And you can just realize that, like standing or sitting on the timeline of your life, behind you or to your left, time expands all the way back to your birth. And in front of you or to your right, time continues all the way till you can see no end. It just disappears in the horizon, but you are right between the past and the future. You are in the present, in the gift of now. And you can ask yourself, does all that happened back there actually exist? Or is it only a representation of what happened in my own mind? Is it only just the stories I tell myself about what happened that I see there on that side of the timeline? And so too, when you look ahead into the future, can you actually see what will happen? Or is there just a vague and hazy imagination, a make-believe image of the future? And you can realize now, the past, even 5 minutes ago, does not exist anymore. And every word I say as that word ends is gone. Like every breath you breathe, you only breathe once. And then on to a new breath. A new second, every second a second chance. Every breath anchoring you to the present moment. But you cannot breathe a future breath, and you cannot live in tomorrow because it doesn't exist at all. Tomorrow does not exist. Yesterday does not exist. Because by the time tomorrow is here, it is no longer tomorrow, it is today. And yesterday never becomes today again, except only in the mind. But that is not reality. And as you come to that realization, you can notice how the past and the future on this timeline just dissolve and fade away, while the very present moment, this very breath, this one, this second, every moment as it unfolds in real time is the only thing that is. That's right. That's it. Feeling really calm, mind really quiet, knowing you are not your thoughts, you are not your feelings. That's it. And now coming back here in the room, opening your eyes, noticing how much more quiet your mind is, how good you feel, feeling so at peace, so calm and tranquil. Thank you very much for letting me walk you through this meditation. And of course, you're free to listen to it as often as you please. Till next time, I'm Lance Sinclair. See you soon.